This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and Tim Hankewich from Orchestra Iowa is with us today. Season's winding down, getting toward, let me put it this way, getting toward the end, but not winding down.
You know, it's the opposite. It's winding down, but speeding up at the same time.
That's
so it's
right.
like everybody else. As the summer gets closer, everyone works harder. We're all working for the weekend.
The Orchestra Iowa train is barreling toward the station.
Full steam ahead.
Tomorrow, you've got a Friday concert.
Yes.
And it is, now, you were here a few weeks ago, and we were talking about your partnership with Ballet Quad Cities to do a concert that featured dance.
Right.
This one, you're working with some special guest choruses.
Exactly right. One of the benefits of being Orchestra Iowa is that it allows us the flexibility to spread our net farther to partner with different arts organizations. In this case, we have 3 choruses joining us. Two choruses from Simpson College, their regular chorus and their chamber chorus, and the Des Moines Vocal Arts Ensemble, all under the direction of Timothy McMillan. And the piece that we're performing is Beethoven's Missa Solemnis, which means solemn mass. It's probably no secret now that this is my 10th anniversary.
And the selections,
yes.
the things you have programmed this year are things that you have, they're either favorites or things you've always wanted to conduct and haven't had a chance.
Exactly. At the beginning of the season, I was hitting the pieces that really made a difference in my life as I was becoming a musician. And now that we're getting towards the end of the season, these are the bucket list pieces that I've always wanted to do. And the Missa Solemnis is one of these things. It was written towards the end of Beethoven's life. At the same time, he was writing the Ninth Symphony. Now, the Ninth Symphony gets a lot of great press. Everybody knows the Ode to Joy and how significant that piece was. In academic circles and when I was a student growing up and aspiring to be a musician, it really was the Missa Solemnis that is sort of admired from afar as really the pinnacle of late Beethoven, his greatest achievement. But it's one of those pieces that ends up on the shelf collecting dust, admired from afar and rarely performed for a variety of reasons. Most significantly, it requires a really great chorus. Beethoven was not a natural writer when it came to the voice. Even if those who've sung the Beethoven's Ninth Symphony know that they're incredible leaps, awkward leaps. It requires, the voice is just a small piece of skin that has to change shape to be able to sing. And so often the singers are singing at extreme parts of their range, extremely high or extremely low, very loudly or with leaps between the two. Very instrumental in writing. For example, if I was a violin, I could play this easily just by crossing a string or changing a fingering on my instrument. But as a singer, it requires incredible accuracy and incredible stamina. So that's one reason why the piece is performed as often as, let's say, the Ninth Symphony. The other reason is something interesting was happening towards the end of Beethoven's life. We all know that he was losing his hearing, and by this time he was pretty much all but deaf. And ironically, that allowed him, as the sound of the external world was disappearing, it required him to look inward into his own imagination. And as a result, his music becomes much more revolutionary, juxtaposing musical elements that normally wouldn't fit together. Something fast next to something slow, something lyrical next to something jagged, something fast next to something slow, extreme dynamics. And from my point of view, who has to interpret this work with the help of the orchestra, to be able to make those disparate elements sound organic. That's what makes late Beethoven so difficult, whether it's a late string quartet or a late piano sonata, or in this case, the Missa Solemnis. But it's one of these ginormous works. It's a profound work of his faith, written towards the end of his life. And to be able to infuse that kind of joy and passion into this work is really remarkable. And the piece stands as an interesting work because until now, his predecessors like Mozart and Haydn would write masses to be used in a liturgical service on Sunday.
To be performed at church.
Absolutely.
By a regular chorus.
Not so this case. This was more of a personal affirmation of his faith intended for the concert hall. And so the scope and the canvas of this piece is just ginormous. I mean, it clocks in at about an hour and 10, 20 minutes. I mean, that's that long. I'm sure you could go through church services that long, but still, that's pushing it.
That's a lot of music.
So that's where his faith meets his his passion with his musical genius, and to be able to treat the Latin Mass with such reverence, but also using it as a revolutionary mode of musical expression. It's just one of these pieces that, as an artist and as a conductor, I've always aspired to do this piece. I've been waiting to do it for 25 years, and if not now, when? Yeah,
that's right. Well, you would, the next chance you get to pick all the music will be at Tim's 20th.
Exactly
25th,
right. Exactly. So I better get it done now.
Grab it now. Good point. Good point. Because there's way too much butter in your diet.
But you're missing out though if you miss this concert, because not only it has a great personal significance to me, that's not the reason why you should come. The reason why you should come is it is some of the most sublime music ever written. It is, I believe, the pinnacle of Beethoven's creative genius, and it's never been performed here. This piece is, well, it was written in 1820, so it's 160, 75 years old, and it's never been performed in Cedar Rapids. I'm not sure if it's been performed in the corridor at all. I doubt it. It may be the first time it's been performed in Iowa. I mean, this is something that its rarity is something that's not to be missed, but it's just sheer beauty that it's going to. I think this is the piece that I'm most excited about the whole season. I say that about every one of our concerts, but I actually mean it.
It's like picking your favorite child.
I know. Just don't let the other ones hear.
So it's a Friday concert.
It is a Friday concert.
Which is somewhat unusual. So make sure that you are set to go on Friday, not Saturday.
It's tomorrow, and the reason for that is our chorus is from out of town. So to bust the choruses in, we're performing here on Friday at 7:30 at the Paramount, and then on Mother's Day, on Sunday at 2:30, we'll be performing in Indianola at Simpson College at Pote Hall, and we'll be at 2:30 there. So if you can't make the performance here, please join us in
Short
Indianola.
drive to Indianola.
Absolutely.
Beautiful campus there.
Gorgeous campus, and the students are just so jazzed and pumped to sing this piece, because you know what? The next time, if ever, they get a chance to sing this again, it'll be 40, 50 years from now. It's just one of those rarities that they're just soaking up.
The concert is Missa Solemnis Friday night at the Paramount Theatre in Cedar Rapids, and then Sunday at in Indianola. And while we're here, we should just talk briefly about, now completely at the other end of the spectrum.
Exactly. Big Bad Voodoo. That's where you're going with this. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. Oh my goodness. Now this is just like high energy swing. It's like swing on steroids, and it's a great band. They wear zoot suits all the time. I first worked with them in Kansas City when I was still working there, and it is a show of such high energy and great fun. Jumping and jiving and a wailing, and it's great.
Now, of course, the orchestra presented Big Bad Voodoo Daddy just after the Paramount opened. I was there.
Yeah.
Awesome show.
Right.
But this time you'll actually be performing with them.
The orchestra will be on stage with them, and that's always a fun. Obviously the stage is just going to be filled with musicians, and just the extra dimension of sound there is just going to be overwhelming. I can't wait. Yeah, it's a great show.
Looking forward to both of these. Missa Solemnis Friday night, Paramount Theater, and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, what would be the 24th?
24th, or so. It's towards the end of the month, yeah.
Yep, middle of the week toward the end of the month. Again, if you want tickets, you can go to
orchestraiowa.org, or you can call it 1-800-369-TUNE.
All right, well, a big May in store.
Indeed.
Have fun with the end of Tim's 10th.
I know. That means I'm getting older. Thanks a lot, Dennis.
Well, I'm just, I'm looking forward to Tim's 20th. That's my plan.
Thank you.